and exactly why he was released, because I can tell that people are not reading the articles. People are not reading the articles. They're not reading what actually happened, and they're running with the headline. Am I happy to see Bill Cosby released? Nope, because I think Bill Cosby was dirty. I'm sorry, Pill Cosby. I think that Pill Cosby was dirty. I'll say it again. What man drugs a woman in order to have sex with her? That ain't normal. Where they do that at? At Bill Cosby's house. That's about it. They do that at Bill Cosby's house, and that's about it. But I want to give people a chance to populate the stream. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Perhaps you're ready to talk about this. I want to share my thoughts with you. You know, I come every single morning with a strong opinion, and I want to set the record straight, keep it real with you, talk about the facts as I understand them. You might have some facts you want to bring to the table, but again, you know, this is the court of public opinion where, your opinion is valued here. What do you think? Bill Cosby released. Did you see any of the video of him speaking with his lawyer? That's him right there in that cover issue, that cover image right there. Yeah. He has been released. Is the world a less safe or more safe place now? You tell me. Somebody posted on Facebook. Now watch Bill Cosby suddenly regain his sight. I wouldn't be surprised. I always thought it was a sympathy move, but we shall see. Bill Cosby had no remorse for what he did. Is it possible that Bill Cosby was railroaded because he's a black man with a lot of money? Well, anything's possible. Anything's possible. But what are the details? What are the facts? That's what I want to talk about with you this morning. Let's talk about the facts. Let's talk about the facts this morning. That's just the tip of the iceberg. As a matter of fact, there's numerous things I want to share with you, but I want to get the conversation started with that this morning. Hey, good morning to you. Welcome back to the studio. Nate Ivy with you. Home studio, office. Like, I actually live here. It's where I do what I do on a regular basis. Good morning to you. Great to see everybody. Great to be seen by everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Let me see. I got some water here. Yeah. Got my tea. Ready to do this. So how many people are happy that Bill Cosby has been released? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands that Bill Cosby has been released. How many people believe that it was a travesty of justice that this black man was ever incarcerated? How many people still believe that this was a plot by the Jewish mafia? I heard that one too. It was a plot by the Jewish mafia. They were mad because Bill Cosby got all uppity. He wouldn't stay in his place and he wanted to buy NBC. How many people still believe that nonsense? I think that R. Kelly was guilty. I think that OJ was guilty. I think Bill Cosby was guilty. I'm sorry. Sometimes that happens in the American judicial system. Sometimes it gets it wrong. Sometimes every once in a while they get it right. That's the nature of it. One thing about Bill Cosby is that Bill Cosby got big stacks. Big stacks. Big stacks. Bill Cosby got big stacks, boy. Woo! When you got big stacks, that means you can pay for high-powered lawyers. Let me put this on the screen. This is a screenshot from CNN talking about the details of the case. I want to start right here. Bill Cosby was found guilty by a jury and now goes free on a procedural issue that is irrelevant to the facts of the crime. Now, that's from the district, that's from the district attorney, Kevin Steele, who put out a statement yesterday. My hope is that this decision will not dampen the reporting of sexual assaults by victims. It will. Prosecutors in my office will continue to follow the evidence whenever and to whomever it leads. We still believe that no one is above the law, including those who are rich, famous, and powerful. A written agreement. Here's the reason why Bill Cosby was set free. Because there was and again, I've seen different reports. Some reports say there was a written agreement. Some reports say it was a verbal agreement. But there was an agreement between the previous Montgomery County prosecutor, Bruce Castor, and Bill Cosby and his defense team that said that that the prosecutor would not criminally prosecute Cosby in the case, okay, in order for him to give testimony in a civil trial. So that's what happened. The prosecutor was like, look, if you testify in this civil trial, then whatever you say, even if it's incriminating, we're not going to use that against you in a criminal trial. That's what happened. But then a new prosecutor came in and decided, you know what, screw that. We think you're guilty. We going after you. And that's the reason why Bill Cosby was set free, because there was a previous agreement that the prosecutors didn't live up to. It's not because there was evidence contrary to the facts. It's not because the witnesses recanted. It's not because there was new evidence that exonerated Bill Cosby. It was because the prosecutor decided to go after him after there was a previous agreement that he wouldn't. I don't know if that makes him seem more or less guilty. And there's a part of me that feels like, damn, the evidence, damn. So you had this agreement with the prosecutor. The prosecutor was like, this is too bad. We got to go after you, Bill. I don't know if that makes him more or less guilty in my eyes. You tell me, but certainly in the eyes of the law, he's been set free. I don't suspect, from what I'm reading and all the legal analysts, I don't suspect they're going to try to retrial the case. And it looks like that's just going to be what it is. So those are the facts of the case. It was procedural. I'm going back and forth with somebody in the friends page who don't know what they talking about at all. And as I said, it was procedural. It had nothing to do with the facts of the case. Now, some of y'all might be like, why is Nate going so hard with this black man? Because Nate is about right and wrong. That's what I'm about. I don't give a damn what the color is. If you black and you wrong, your ass is wrong, period. If you white and you right, your ass is right, period. I don't play those games. Across the board. Simple as that. Especially now when we're talking about a man that's alleged to have raped multiple people. Are you kidding me? I don't get down like that. I got a wife. I got many women in my life that I love. I got a daughter. I don't get down like that. And some people so caught up with that black shit, they can't even see the real shit. They can't even see it. You think I'm gonna do the black man? Man, knock all that shit off, please. Stop. Stop. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Period. I don't care who it is. It could be my mama, who's in the hospital, by the way. Talked to her yesterday. She's feeling much, much better. She got a new diagnosis or prognosis from the doctor. So my heart has been relieved on that. I don't give a damn who it can be. You out here doing, you a serial rapist? You ain't get, I ain't want to support that. Who I don't support that? What self-respecting man supports something like that? I don't give a damn about the racial history in this country. So what? Period. I'm a heterosexual man. Any heterosexual man that's out here drugging women to have sex with them is suspect to me. I don't care who you are, where you are, makes no difference to me. Who does that? Raise your hand if you drugging women in order to have sex with them. It's out of bounds, family. Simple as that. But I know how it is. I read some of the comments. People are happy that he's free because he's black. And so many black people have been unjustly incarcerated. Well, those people should be let go. That's what we need to focus on. Not serial rapists, but it is what it is. But I want to make sure we all got the same facts. The jury, it wasn't jury tampering. The witnesses didn't recant. There wasn't new evidence. It was a procedural issue. There was an agreement with the former prosecutor because they wanted Bill Cosby to testify and to be honest in the civil trial. And so they went to Bill and his team and said, look, if you're honest during the civil phase, then we won't charge you criminally. New prosecutor comes in and says, screw that. That was their agreement, and prosecutes him anyway. That's what happened. That is not the same as finding new evidence. That's not the same as the witness lied. That is not the same, folks. Please stop. Please stop. Go read for yourself. Go read the transcripts if you doubt what I'm saying, and read it for yourself. Don't act like that's the same thing. Phylicia Rashad is an asshole. Simple as that. She don't care about nobody but herself. She never did. She had the nerve to tweet something, and Twitter formed Voltron on her ass. I don't like Phylicia Rashad no more. I stopped liking her when the truth came out about her, about what was happening with Bill Cosby. She's a narcissistic black woman that only cares about her own self and her own legacy. The only reason why she caping for Bill Cosby is not because of Bill Cosby. She's doing that because she's trying to preserve the legacy of the Cosby Show, of which she was a part of. She's an asshole, period. Simple as that. I'm glad Twitter's going after her. Good. They went after her after she tweeted like, oh, justice has been served. And then she retweeted something to clarify it. Why are you clarifying? If that's how you feel, sis, leave it like that. It's because she's an asshole, period. Narcissist only care about herself and her own legacy. Oh, as long as Bill is behind bars, then nobody's really going to care about the Cosby Show anymore. Oh, I don't give a damn about no Cosby Show. Who cares? Right is right and wrong is wrong. Period. Simple as that. Well, that's what they get for messing with a married woman. A married man. No, that's not what they get for messing with a married man. You don't deserve that. I don't give a damn if he was married or not. So Phylicia Rashad tweeted, finally, a terrible wrong is being righted. A miscarriage of justice is corrected, along with a photo of Bill Cosby. What? Again, it will be different if Bill Cosby was released because they found out that the witnesses had lied. I got you then. Or they find out that the prosecutors had presented some evidence that was completely wrong, or they suppressed some evidence. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. Or they found out that, what else could it be? I mean, I don't know what else could it be, but those two things right there. That would be different. Then I'd be like, you know what? This was a miscarriage of justice. But that's not what happened. Stop playing games with the truth. Keep it real with yourself. I already know. I mean, people can think whatever they want to think. I already know. Let me see. So then Phylicia Rashad puts that out, right? And once again, making herself look like she don't care about these female victims. She don't care about rape victims. See, this whole Bill Cosby's thing is an example as to why a lot of people who have been sexually assaulted don't come forward. Because you got a lot of people out there, especially with social media, that'll go online and start tweeting support for the damn victimizer, for the abuser. Oh, I'm so happy. What are you talking about? Go read it for yourself. If I'm wrong about it, set me straight. If anything I said this morning is inaccurate, set me straight. I'm open to be disabused of my folly. Set me straight. But you can't, because I speak the facts. Phylicia Rashad should be ashamed of herself. So then first she tweeted, finally, a terrible wrong has been righted. A miscarriage of justice is corrected. That wasn't a miscarriage of justice. A miscarriage of justice would have been the prosecutors suppress evidence. That's a miscarriage of justice. Now that's a miscarriage of justice. Or the witnesses lied and then they recanted. That's a miscarriage of justice. That's not what happened. What happened, I'll say it for the 7th time, is that the prosecutors who was initially a part of the civil case agreed to not go after Bill Cosby criminally. New prosecutor comes in and says, screw that. We got to go after you. That's what happened. That ain't the same, folks. Anybody who says it is either lying to you or they haven't read the facts. They don't know what they're talking to. That's why I'm here to talk about the facts. It ain't about feelings. It's about the facts. The facts still got to matter. And I don't give a damn what's happening in this country. I don't give a damn about the history of racism and slavery and antebellum South. It don't matter. That don't mean that we should be supporting a serial rapist because he happens to be black. I don't give a damn about that. Now, maybe you do. Maybe you're like, oh, well, America gets it. What about all the white rapists? Okay, that's you. I don't roll like that. I don't get down like that. That's just me. So first, Phylicia Rashad tweeted that. Then she tweeted, I fully support survivors of sexual assault coming forward. My post was in no way intended to be insensitive to their truth. Personally, I know from friends and family that such abuse has lifelong lifelong effects. My heartfelt wish is for healing. So basically what happens is Twitter went after her ass And then some people close to her went after her. And she was like, oh, okay. Oh, snap. Oops, my bad. That's the reason why people don't come forward. When you hear about these women and sometimes men, because men get sexually abused by other men and even women, the reason why they don't come forward is the way that some people are reacting to this Bill Cosby situation right now. I don't believe you. You shouldn't have been there. He was married. What did you do? You knew what was in the cup. You wanted to get raped. Who wants to be raped? Who wakes up in the morning like, you know what? I think I want to be drugged and raped today. The hell is wrong with people? So this is a no BS zone. I ain't with it. I ain't having it. I ain't having it. Sorry. I know there's some people that want me just to go along. You know he black. Blackity black, man. I don't give a damn what color is it. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And I ain't standing next to no rapist. OJ was guilty. R. Kelly is guilty and Bill Cosby was guilty. But sometimes when you got a lot of money and fame and you can pay to get the lawyers to go through everything, that's what you get. It is what it is. We got a messed up judicial system. And maybe the prosecutor should not have charged him criminally because they had a verbal or, again, I've read separate reports from different media reports. Some reports say they had a written agreement, but nobody can find it. And then other reports say there wasn't a written agreement. It was just a verbal agreement. Okay. So the reason why they got Bill Cosby to tell so much during a civil trial, and he ended up paying out $3 million in a civil trial, by the way, is because they had an agreement that they wouldn't go after him criminally. That's the reason why Bill Cosby been so upset, not because of the merits of the facts of the case, is because he had a verbal agreement with the prosecutors that they wouldn't go after him. You telling me that's a miscarriage of justice? To me, it's a procedural technicality. That's what it looks like to me. But we can all have our own opinions, though. Nobody's right or, well, no, I take that back. Some people are wrong on this. If you out here running around telling me, oh, he didn't do nothing, you're dead wrong. Because the facts of the case are still relevant. We don't know. I wasn't there that day. All I know is that a jury was presented evidence and found him guilty. And oh, by the way, between the civil and the criminal trial, Bill Cosby admitted to inviting women to his house and drugging them. Again, raise your hand if you invite women to your house and drug them to have sex with them. I don't do that. I ain't never did no shit like that. It ain't even crossed my mind. Like, why would I want to? What do I get after? What do you get out of having sex with an unconscious woman? That's some old sick ass, sicko, Bill Cosby, power control, dominance type of stuff. That's what that is. No, I know. He's a brother. We supposed to go along with it. Well, I'll let you do that. I'm gonna keep it rizzle. I'm a rep for the victims. Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. You tell me. Kush Rice and OJ was set up too. Yeah, he was set up, Kush. Sure he was. He was set up, all right. Yeah, he sure was. Oh, man. Stop setting these brothers up. Sure they did. See, that's what happens in America, man, because of America's messed up, crazy ass history as it relates to black men and black people. The fact that whole black towns and neighborhoods were destroyed because of allegations, false allegations of rape. When you flash forward to modern day times, some people have those attitudes about black people, black men who it appears actually committed a crime. They're like, screw that. What about Rosewood, right? I don't give a damn about no Rosewood. What's that got to do with what happened today? Nothing. But I get it though. That's what's happening. People are like, well, what about Rosewood? I get it. But it is what it is. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. You know, I got a strong opinion. About most things. I'd like to get your thoughts about this morning. Was an innocent man set free? Or was a guilty man set free? You tell me, was an innocent man set free or was a guilty man set free? I'd like to know. Again, you weren't there. I weren't there. All we know is what we know from the media, from the trial. That's all we know. I don't have any insight that you don't have. I don't have no insight, but some of these comments, I'm going to jump on Facebook, man. Some of these comments are just straight up disappointing. They're like from the Phylicia Rashad world. Oh, man. So she posted. So Phylicia Rashad posted. Let me see if I can put this on the screen for you real quick. So Phylicia Rashad posted. Let me see this. She posted this 18 hours ago. So 18 hours ago, she posted, finally, a terrible wrong is being righted. A miscarriage of justice is corrected. Even the Cosby kids was like, later for you, TV dad. She posted that 18 hours ago, right? She took so much heat that 3 hours later, she posted this. As I said, I fully support survivors of sexual assault coming forward. No, you don't. No, you don't, Phylicia Rashad, because since day one, you've been so up Bill Cosby's anus. You've been so far up his rectum that you didn't give a damn about nothing and nobody else. She didn't give a damn about nothing and nobody else. And really, it's all about preserving the legacy of the Cosby Show. Oh, the Cosby Show was so influential on television. Yeah, sure it was. Yeah. Now, what exactly did the Cosby show? It showed black people in a different way to white people. Yeah, sure it did. That's been very valuable. Very valuable. It was a TV show. That's all it ever was. Stop acting like you was changing the world with a TV show. That's all it was. It was entertaining. Black folks might have got something out of it, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? If you got a racist heart, no TV show is going to stop that. But I get it. I love the Cosby Show too. It was must-see TV. Remember NBC, must-see TV. I wanted to watch it too. It was cool. Anthony writes, morning, chop shops. Defia Monis writes, greetings all. Charles writes, grand risings, Nathan Choppers. Bill got on a legal technicality. He was railroaded in the sense that when he originally gave his account of what happened, he was told he would be giving a free pass. He wasn't railroaded. He wasn't railroaded. He got what he deserved. Danita writes, good morning, everyone. Tracy writes, hi. Charles writes, he's finishing his thought. He was given immunity. Then the testimony he gave there was used to prosecute him. They lied, and it was at the release today, and it was at the release yesterday. Did they realize that they effed up? Let me see here. I think Bill Cosby got exactly what he deserved. Like, two things can be true at the same time. So, number one, the prosecutors had an agreement with him, and then a new prosecution team came in and said, screw that agreement. And they shouldn't have done that. And at the same time, he raped those women and he did some time behind bars for it. He got what he deserved. Really, he deserved more time. I don't have no remorse for Bill whatsoever. If you out here raping women and drugging women, he lucky that he's still alive, quite honestly. He lucky some of these family members didn't catch up with him. All right, so you do something like that in my family, I'm going to dedicate my life to doing the same thing to you. I'm going to rape you and drug you. The same way you do that to my family, I'm going to do the same thing to you. I'm going to dedicate my life to it. Screw this show and everything else. That's the only thing I'm going to care about. So he's lucky. He's very, very lucky the family didn't catch up with him. Bill Cosby got what he deserved. And do the same thing back to you. I'm like that, though. I mean, the reflection method, that's God's law. That's nature's law. You out here hurting somebody's family member, the family reach up to you and do the same thing to you. One supposed to cry about it? Simple as that. He got what he deserved, Charles. How long was Bill Cosby in jail? He got what he deserved. That's what he deserved. Any man or woman that's out here drugging and raping people, you deserve that. And I don't have no sympathy for you. You know what I'm saying? I got sympathy for the victims. That's what I got sympathy for. Sister Iris writes, good morning, great people. Charles writes, Bill should enjoy this money and fade into oblivion. He knows he is still considered a pariah from the other side. He just goes somewhere and be real still. Right. You're right. He should go somewhere now and just chill. Just don't get on Facebook. Don't get on YouTube. Don't get on Instagram. Don't get on TikTok. Don't keep talking about how, you've been exonerated and the Jewish mafia was after you because you wanted to buy NBC. Just let it go. Spend your money. Go be with Camille if she'll have you. And just live out the rest of your days and keep it on the low. That's the only thing you should do right now. But we'll wait and see. Tiffany writes, good morning, all. Charles writes, Darren Sharper. That's another one. Out here raping women and drugging women. I ain't got no love for you, man. None. No respect for it. Dominique writes, good morning, Nate. Danita writes, I think Bill Cosby was guilty of what he did. He gave women quaaludes. He never admitted to raping anyone. He maintained the sex was consensual. They did drugs and had sex, happen every day. Of course, all rapists maintain it was consensual. They all say that. No, it was consensual. Like, yeah, she wanted to be drugged and unconscious. Ladies, raise your hand if that's your fantasy. Tell me if that's your fantasy. What woman's fantasy is to be unconscious? You don't have no idea what's happened to you. You don't get no pleasure out of whatsoever, and you wake up afterward. Raise your hand if that's your fantasy. I'm waiting. Nobody's going to raise their hand. I don't believe that one bit. There's a big difference between partying and you drinking, you doing little drugs because, you know, it might excite you or make things super sensitive, and being unconscious and you don't even remember any of it. Stop acting like we ain't grown and we don't know what's going on here. Please stop. What woman out here wants to be unconscious during intercourse? You don't get nothing out of it. You don't get no climax. You don't feel nothing. You just wake up afterward. What happened? Oh, it was good, baby. Oh, as long as you said it was good. Who does that? Please stop. All rapists say it was consensual. They always say that. Every rapist has ever been on trial has said that. Well, it was consensual because it's the easiest lie. I don't believe it one bit. If it was consensual, then why are they coming forward? Why they come forward? If it was consensual, why? Now, some of these women, we know this. Some of these women have recanted. Some of these women was like, oh, I see an opportunity. Absolutely, 100%. I never believed all the victims. It was clear to me that some of these women were lying. But that don't mean that all of them were lying. And like I said, there's people in the audience right now that have been victimized who have never come forward. And the reason why is because of this, the way that people react to Bill Cosby. Well, why'd you go over there? You knew he was married. Well, you should have knew what kind of woman goes to a man's hotel room at 2 a.m. in the morning. Same thing they have about with Mike Tyson, with Desiree Washington, right? Well, if you go to a man's hotel room at 2 o'clock in the morning, then you get what you get. No, foolish people, you don't get what you get. Just because you go to somebody's hotel room, I mean they can rape you. That's not what the hell are we? What world are we living in? How was y'all raised? I wasn't raised like that. No means no. That's what it means. Whenever you hear it, it might be beyond the point of entry. If she say no, get your ass up and move. Simple as that. Simple as that. Period. Same thing with women. There's men out there that have been raped and sexually forced into situations by women. Oh, you gonna give me this? What you mean no? Oh, you ain't gonna tell me no. There have been men out there that's been victimized by other men, never come forward because people start shaming them. Well, you knew what he wanted. You knew he wanted it. Why'd you go over there? I don't play those games. That's not my reality. In my reality, when you say no, that means no, period. Do me a favor to like, in particular, share this show on Facebook and beyond, folks. I really appreciate you in advance. Danita writes, the DA also said that they knew they couldn't prove the case in a criminal trial, which is why they made the deal to win a civil case. Kelly writes, good morning. Andrea writes, good morning, Nate and friends. Just Teach writes, but you rock with the dude on the Breakfast Club. Ooh, I don't rock with nobody. I put Charlamagne the God out there. Played the video and everything. I believe the victims. 9 times out of 10, I believe the victims because typically speaking, I just don't think another human being, I think it's very hard for a human being to admit that another person got over on them. Just in general, over no matter what the situation is. There's people that's been swindled out of a big time money and they just can't bring it to, they can't bring themselves to tell anybody because it's real hard for a human to admit that another human got over on them. It's real hard for a man to admit that another man got over on him. It's real hard for a human being to come forward and say, this person victimized me. That ain't easy to do. That's hard. That's a very hard thing. So typically I look at the facts and the case, and sometimes I just, can get a feel for things. But typically speaking, usually 8, 9 times out of 10, when I hear about something like that, I typically will agree with the victim. That's very embarrassing to come forward and tell people that, you put yourself in a compromised position and somebody sexually assaulted you. That's why a lot of men who've been sexually assaulted never come forward, because no man wants to admit that. What kind of man want to admit that? Yeah, this other man took advantage of me. I'm just saying hypothetically, and it ain't even feeling good coming out of my mouth. Nobody want to believe that and say that. What woman want to come forward and say, yeah, this person took advantage of me? Nobody wants to admit that. Nobody is cool with that. Nobody is happy with that. That's hard for anybody to do. So I believe that woman. I believe that Charlemagne, the devil, did some old F-ish. And really, he should have been dealt with, quite honestly. That's just me. I don't get down with none of that. I don't care who it is. I believe R. Kelly was guilty out here victimizing young girls. If that had been my daughter, I'd have caught up with his ass a long time ago. It is what it is. I'm telling you, I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to getting your ass. And I'm going to get you because I'm willing to sacrifice myself. And a man that's willing to sacrifice himself can do anything. I'm just telling you, let you know off the top. This show, all this other stuff, nothing would matter but me getting my hands on you. And I would get you. No doubt about it. So Just Teach, I don't know who you're talking about. So I don't rock with Charlemagne. I don't rock with none of these grimy, slimy ass dudes. I don't have no respect for it. Cause like I said, sex is the easiest thing in the world to get. It's so much sex out here, so many women that's willing out here. It's the easiest thing in the world. So I just don't understand these dudes just got to go through all these maneuvers to try to have sex with a woman. Just shoot some game. Simple as that. Go work out, do whatever you got to do, work on your text messaging game, whatever you got to do. It's plentiful. So I don't have no respect for it, Just Teach. None. Plus I got a little girl and I look at her sometime, I just pray to God because I know me. I already know what my reaction is going to be. It's going to be straight out the movies. I'm going to get you. It might not be today. It might not be next month. It might be in a year or two. It might be 5 years from now, but shit, I'm going to get you. It's going to be me that's going to do it. That's what's going to happen. So like I said, knowing my attitude, that's when I keep saying, if I hear about family members catching up, somebody victimize your family, do what you got to do. You deserve it. There was a time when people dealt with things a lot differently. Whole life wasn't no law. And those weren't fair times because we know a lot of our people got caught up with them rape allegations. But I'm just saying, it's just some things that as humans, once you do it and you open that door, there is no coming back. Ain't no coming back. You know what I'm saying? You have set things in motion and your goose is cooked. It is what it is. So no, I don't rock with none of these creeps, none of these rapists. Especially not if you out here victimizing children. Oh my God. Don't even come close to me. I don't have no respect for it whatsoever. I don't have no respect for a man that rapes a woman whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? That's why when I hear about this prison justice, sounds good to me. You know what I'm saying? It caught up with you. It is what it is. So I don't know what Bill actually did. All I know is what I can perceive as the evidence and the facts and then my own feelings about it. Okay. If in the small chance that he was actually innocent, which I do not believe whatsoever, then cool. He's been exonerated. I believe he was guilty as hell. He was one of these Hollywood creeps who was getting off on. See, that's a power thing. See, rape is not about sex, it's about power. It's about power. It's about, I want to control somebody. And if you're the kind of creep and psycho sicko that likes to, have a woman be unconscious, which to me is like counterproductive. The whole point is the reaction. You want to see that reaction. Right? You hit that spot, you want to see the reaction, right? Exactly. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But I'm not a creep. I don't think like that. But some of these creeps out here and these psycho sickos, they think that's the everything for them. Like, yeah, she won't know, but I'll know, and all this kind of crap. But he's free now. To all the people out here caping for number one, if you're gonna cape, go on Amazon and get you a proper cape. Get you a cape it all the way up, and go to work today and talk about it at the water cooler with your cape on if you're gonna cape for Bill Cosby. Do it correctly. But for all these people that think that Bill Cosby was innocent, would you go to Bill Cosby's house and allow him to pour a drink for you? Probably not. That tells you everything. Adele writes, good morning, Nate and the Chopper. Good morning to you. Let me see. Dale writes, I'm moving on. This is a distraction. We have many issues to confront. You know, I hear people saying that. It don't make sense when I hear people saying that. You know, this is a distraction. This is the hottest topic and the most relevant thing going on within the last 24 hours on some levels. Period. You know what I'm saying? You got every opportunity. Anybody can start any podcast they want to talk about whatever you want to. And I encourage you to do that. But trying to tell a host what to talk about, me, it ain't gonna never happen. I'm just not built like that. Let me do the driving. If you want to drive, start your own thing and do the driving. This is the hottest and most relevant topic going on right now. This is exactly what I'm going to keep talking about. We'll talk about other stuff another day because we ain't changing nothing in no conversation in one day anyway. So please stop with all of that. Bill Cosby was set free. I'd like to know whether you think he was innocent. Has an innocent man been set free? Or has a guilty man been set free? That is my question for you. I want to get your thoughts on that. It ain't no damn distraction. Because I hear people saying that, Daryl, but I'm gonna say this again, and I just love being real with you. I know a lot of people that's out here in the community. They don't get distracted. I know a lot of people that's out here working for the community. They don't get distracted. Talking about Bill Cosby or talking about the backyardigans don't distract people that's out here in the community getting stuff done. Please stop with all of that. If you distracted, you just a distractible person. That's all it is. You just distractible. But all the people I know that's out here in the community, they stay on that. They stay on the grind no matter what. They ain't getting distracted because we talking about the backyardigans. Please stop it. Please stop. If you that distractible, then it don't matter what we talking about. You're going to be distracted. Like, oh, there's a cricket. Equity, policy, intangibles. Oh, I hear a cricket. So please stop. Please stop it. People that's on a job, people that's out here for equity, policy, and tangibles will remain on those same grinds no matter what we talk about, no matter what the internet talks about. I just feel like that comment is it just don't make any sense. And I ain't picking on you, Daryl. I know you got love for me. I got nothing but love for you too, brother. I'm just saying, I've heard it from a lot of people. It don't make any sense. I want to say this again. To all the people that's active in that community, are you distracted? Hell to the no, they ain't distracted. They don't get distracted. They don't get distracted. People that's out here trying to push for policy, they ain't getting distracted because there's an NBA finals. They ain't getting distracted because we talking about Bill Cosby. Please stop. If you're a distractible person, you're going to be distracted. Oh, there's a butterfly. There's a butterfly. What was I saying? Please stop it. It ain't happening. Oh, the Olympics. I forgot. What were we working on? That's not what happens. That's not how it works. It's just a topic, one of many things in the court of public opinions, and we gonna have it. It is what it is. But let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, Nate. How are you?
I'm doing great. Danita, welcome.
Hey. So I don't really think Bill Cosby getting out is about the truth. I don't think it is about whether or not he was innocent or guilty, to be quite honest. My take on it is the integrity of the judicial system. If the DA made a deal, the DA has to abide by that deal. That is the foundation of our judicial system. And the DA made the deal knowing and admitting that he would never be able to actually get a conviction against Bill Cosby in a criminal case. Because as we know, in a criminal case, you have to prove it beyond all reasonable doubt. So,
and they did.
The weight of evidence. The weight of evidence is different in a criminal case than it is a civil case. So this DA says, I'm never going to prove it in a criminal case. So I'll give you a deal on that. if we can get this woman money in a civil case, because that's really what the civil case is about. So what Bill Cosby admitted to doing, and you keep saying drugging women, that's not what he said. So if we're going to say what was said, we got to say it correctly, Nate. What he admitted to was that he had Quaaludes, a prescription drug, and that he gave them to women. Again, his story is that it was consensual sex. And like you did point out, all rapists are going to say that. And we do know that. But again, for me, Bill Cosby getting out needed to happen the way that it did because this DA went against the word. Even though the DA before him made the deal, it still has to be honored. That is the cornerstone of the judicial system. And when we think about it, a lot of times in the judicial system, it's not about whether or not the person was innocent or guilty. We know there are people that have been guilty that got off, and we know there are people who have been innocent who went in. And so really it's about what you can prove. And they could not prove that he was guilty in a criminal case. So you don't get to then go back and say, oh, yeah, I told you we weren't going to prosecute you, but now we are. You can't do that.
You're speaking a lot of facts. You're right about that. That's exactly what happened.
And then the other problem that I have with it is this DA obviously is unscrupulous. This is the same lawyer who defended Trump in his impeachment trial. So are we surprised that this guy, basically what he did, he broke the law. DAs have to be held accountable to the law as well. So this lawyer, anybody that's going to represent Trump in an impeachment trial is obviously an unscrupulous lawyer. So this DA came in, unscrupulous as he is, and said, screw the judicial system. I'm going to get Bill Cosby, and I'm going to do it in a way that was against the law. So because that DA broke the law, Bill Cosby got out. So if you want to be mad at anybody, we got to be mad at that DA who broke the law. They should have figured out another way to get him and do it legally. So basically what Bill Cosby's lawyers did, they used the same judicial system that locked him up to free him. And I don't think we can be mad at that. The system works both ways. If you're not honest as a DA, then you're going to lose the case. It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't blame the prosecutor per se, but you're right. There's a lot of facts in what you said. I blame Bill because if Bill wasn't out here drugging and raping women, then none of this ever really happened. Let's be real here. Bill caused all of this. If he wasn't drugging and raping women, then none of this ever would have happened. The prosecution was wrong. You're right. They should have. He should have abided by his original agreement. He didn't do that. But Bill set all this in motion.
But again, we don't know innocent or guilty, and you and I have a difference of opinion on that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, to me, you can even fast forward to 2021. This is going on right now with T.I. and Tiny. They got all of these women saying that they was drugged and raped. T.I. and Tiny say, y'all knew what you was getting into when you came into this. Y'all agreed for us to do drugs and party. Y'all agreed to let Tip spank you on the ass with a whip. You know what I'm saying? But now, I'm serious. You know what I'm saying? But now they want to claim that it was rape and they was violated. And I believe that there are true predators out there, you know what I'm saying, that prey on women. I believe there are victims. But unfortunately, Nate, there are also liars. And really, it's the liars that make it hard for everyone else. Because people automatically assume that the woman is lying because other women have lied. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
The victim has to prove her innocence, which that should never have to happen. You know, the person proving their innocence should be the person that's accused, not the victim. But because we have women who have lied, this is where we at. And it does, we got to admit, it does happen. Women have accused men falsely of raping them throughout time, unfortunately.
Yeah, and there's been plenty of women who've been raped by men and have never gotten a justice.
Exactly.
I think it's far more women who've been raped and never got their justice because they were shamed into silence and/or when they came forward, nobody believed them. Then there are women who lied about it. That's just my personal opinion.
No, I will agree with that. I don't believe the liars outweigh the victims. I will agree. I think the liars are a smaller percentage,
right? But
they get more. We hear about that more. And it may be the society that we live in, the reason why we hear about it more, is to let these creeps off. You know what I'm saying? It's to make rape, because it is a crime against women. Maybe that is society's way of shutting women up. And
right.
that's why we put the liars out in front. You know, this is a patriarchal society that we live in.
Right, right.
Women, we still are a second-class citizen in many ways. You know what I mean? So that's a whole sociological topic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it does happen. It does happen. But I think we got to look at the Bill Cosby case. If we're talking about why he got out because the DA broke the law.
Yeah, and he was in because he broke the law. That's why I say I think Bill Cosby got exactly what he deserved. He did 3 years. I don't care. He got what he deserved. Because he got what he deserved. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you're right. And this is the facts. I said it earlier. The prosecution made an agreement during the civil trial to not go after him, not to use what he said and the evidence they got during the civil trial to go after him during the criminal trial. But if there was nothing incriminating during the civil trial, he never would have been found guilty in a criminal trial. So I blame Bill Cosby. He got what he deserved.
No, really, we need to blame Bill Cosby's original trial lawyer, because you would never have your client admit to anything. That's the fact. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, if we want to go back to it, he never should have been charged at all. That DA knew, I don't have enough evidence to prosecute this man in a criminal trial, and the DA admitted that. So
right. But Danita, if he didn't do the crime, there never would have been an allegation against him in the first place. That's what I'm saying. We can't just, this story don't begin once we got to the trial, the civil trial. It began with the initial crime of him allegedly drugging and raping women. If his nose was clean, if he wasn't having these interactions with these women, and in some cases they felt like, and again, he was convicted of just one woman, raping just one woman. If he never did that, none of this ever would have happened. It's plenty of black men in Hollywood that's doing all kind of freaky stuff, and they never get charged with rape. He got charged with rape, and he got convicted, even though it was wrong and now vacated because of his own actions. That's why I say Bill Cosby got what he deserved.
But Nate, the point is, you keep saying that Bill Cosby admitted to it in the civil trial. He did not. He never admitted to raping and drugging women.
Of course he did.
He admitted, but so that's what I want.
Of course, he never admitted to raping women. He admitted to drugging.
He never admitted to drugging women.
He admitted to drugging women, and he admitted to enough incriminating evidence that the prosecution was able to use that in the criminal phase. That's what I'm saying.
Nate,
if your nose is clean, if he had nothing incriminating to say in the civil phase, then there would not have been enough evidence to use against him in a criminal phase. That's what I'm saying.
Nate,
in a civil phase to a criminal phase.
But you're wrong. He did not admit
right, because he went to jail for it.
No.
Yes.
But that's not what he admitted to. What I'm trying
That's
to
exactly what he admitted to.
That's not. No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
He admitted to giving. Nate, he did it.
Then why was he found guilty then during the criminal phase?
Because they used what he said about giving a woman prescription drugs.
It was deeper than that.
And they took that leap. They took that leap and said, well, if you gave them the drugs, then you probably did it without their consent.
You reducing
you raped them.
There was more incriminating evidence than just that. It was also the testimony of other women that they brought in as well. It was more than just
that. And some of them recanted. So we can't even look at that. But my point is, you keep saying he admitted to drugging women. If you're going to say what he admitted to, you got to. No, he didn't.
You just said he did. You just said he admitted to giving women Quaaludes. That's admitting drugging women.
No, it's not. Drugging women means you gave it to them without their consent. He did not admit to that, Nate. He did not. So you cannot sit here, Nate. Come on, you got to put on your journalist cap. So you got to say the facts the way the facts were presented. He never said, I drugged them. He said, I gave it to them, and they knew it, and they consented. That is two different things.
They all say
that. But you can't. I'm not saying you're wrong to say
what rapist, what person has been accused of rape comes forward to the court and says, I raped them. They all say that. What I'm saying, I'll say it again, and the facts bear to be true. If there was nothing incriminating against Bill Cosby, during the civil phase, then there would have been nothing they could have used against him in a criminal phase. Facts.
Nate, we expect the journalists, facts. We expect journalists to present the facts as they were told.
I don't care about what you expect. I'm talking about the facts. The facts are he incriminated himself during the civil phase, and they were able to use that against him in the criminal phase. That's the facts.
Nate, you're twisting the facts. You're twisting the facts. And
no, actually, I'm not. I'm staying on the facts. You just want to narrow it to make a point. And you're not looking at the larger point. You think that the story begins when he got to trial. And I believe that the story began when he was interacting with these women. There are plenty of men out here that interact with women. They drink with women, smoke with women, and they never allege that they've been raped. Plenty of men. Somebody probably did that just last night. Happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But there's plenty of men who do that and nobody ever comes forward and said they raped them. There's plenty of black men in Hollywood with money, all kinds of names, married, that's doing all kind of weird, freaky ish. They never get accused of rape.
I agree.
Ain't nobody ever accused Jamie Foxx. He even gave you an example, an excuse. You can blame it on the alcohol. So clearly there was something different in this case. Clearly.
I'm not disagreeing on it. I'm not disagreeing on any of that.
So Bill Cosby is to blame for Bill Cosby's situation. Nobody else. He is to blame for it.
Okay.
It ain't the prosecutor. Okay. It's him. It's him.
I'm not saying none. I ain't saying none of that.
Like I said, I haven't seen. I know plenty of dudes. I know it's plenty of men out here, married or otherwise, that's partying with women, drinking, sharing drugs with women. They never accuse him of having being raped. And there's plenty of men out there who ain't never had 10, 12 women accuse him of rape. There's plenty of men out there that did that. If Bill Cosby says something incriminating during a civil phase, that's because he did something incriminating. So he did 3 years.
He admitted to that.
He deserved it.
And he admitted to that.
And he deserved the 3 years he got.
Because you cannot go back on your word. That's what the judicial system is about. No.
I'm right. And that's why he's out now. That's why he's free now. That's why he's not going to do the whole 10 years. No. But the reason why he did 3 years is because he must have did something incriminating. Simple as that.
He didn't. He should never have been charged. We have to require lawyers.
No, he should never have done it.
To abide by the law as
he
well.
should never have done it, Danita.
So that DA should have never made the deal. If he really wanted him on a criminal case, he should have never made the deal.
I agree with you.
So that's why he did.
I agree with you 100%.
And he did not go to jail. He did not go to jail because that's what he deserved.
He
went to jail because the DA broke it. But he went to jail because the DA broke the law.
No, you're right about that. You're right about that. But he deserved to go to jail. He got what he deserved.
No.
Yes.
That DA broke the law. Period. And you can't argue that. He broke the law.
I'm not arguing it. It's the facts. But what I'm telling you is in the law of nature, he got what he deserved. If he wasn't drugging women and raping women, he never would have put himself in that situation. It's his fault. Period. Once you get, and everybody knows this, Danita. Everybody knows, especially if you black. He put himself in that position. When you come in contact with the criminal justice system, anything can happen. We all know that.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
And again, that's what I'm saying. His lawyer should have never had him say anything. His lawyer should have never admitted to anything. But you're talking morality versus the law.
No, I'm talking both. You're right. I am talking morality. You know what I'm saying? Had he kept his nose clean, had he hadn't been drugging women, had he hadn't been and again, there was a lot of women that came forward that wasn't even a part of the case. Remember Beverly Johnson, supermodel? She has a story that's on YouTube, and when she talked about Bill drugged her, but she came to and was able to get out of it.
I thought her and Janice Dickinson were the two that recanted.
It was Janice Dickinson. It wasn't Beverly Johnson. Beverly Johnson was the black female supermodel. You can look at it on YouTube.
I know she is.
She didn't recant. She said that she was chilling with Bill. Bill made a drink for her. All of a sudden, she started feeling crazy. But she said at that time, she was doing a lot of drugs, so she knew what that feeling was. She said she got the hell up out of there. She said she was glad she was able to get into a taxi and get out of there. Bill clearly had a history of and a pattern of doing this with women, and it caught up with him. So be it. That's what happens. You know?
Yep. Well, again, My thing is, we got to look at it from the law. He never should have been charged, and that was that.
He never
And
should have
he
been
got out.
doing that with women, and then he never would have been charged. That's what happens.
But that's a separate conversation. That's not about how he got out.
Right, he got out because the prosecutor did something they weren't supposed to do, and they violated an agreement.
And that was your question.
It's not because the witness recanted. It's not because the prosecutor suppressed evidence. They just used what he said against him. He said it,
and they shouldn't.
He shouldn't have done it,
and they shouldn't. But they shouldn't. They shouldn't have broke the law.
He shouldn't have broke the law, and they shouldn't have broke the law. You're right about that. The moral of the story is don't drug women. That's what the moral of the story is. Don't drug women.
We don't know that he did.
We do know that because he admitted to giving them Quaaludes.
No.
Don't drug women. No. He had all these jokes about Spanish fly putting in women's drinks. That's what his MO was. It's very, very clear. It's very clear. Okay. That's what his MO was.
To you. But I don't know. I don't know what he did, what he didn't do. And for me, that's not even that's not even the scenario for me right now. The scenario for me right now is the DA broke the law and he shouldn't have. You cannot be a sworn member of the judicial system and you break the law.
True.
That's it. Period. Point.
True. And you shouldn't be out here drugging women.
I will agree with that. Nobody should
sex
be drugged.
With them. Because when you do that, it opens the door for things to get misunderstood. It opens the door for criminal and civil charges, especially if you're a big time person like Bill Cosby. I blame Bill Cosby.
Well, the only place that we seem to disagree, Nate, is whether or not he drugged the women, meaning whether or not he did it with them knowing or not knowing. That's where you and I come to a crossroads, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can disagree on that. To me, it's very, very clear. It's very clear.
Yeah.
This was his
All right,
MO.
sir.
All right, thank you for the call.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, that was his MO. Drugging women to have sex with them. Come on now. Look, let's stop acting like we not grown. We know what was going on. Bill was sicko. He was one of these sick guys. Thought it was funny. And he was probably doing different degrees with different women. That's how predators are. They scope out the situation. They see what they can get away with. With some women, he was probably drugging them till they was unconscious. With other women, they was probably semi-conscious. You know what I'm saying? It probably depended on the scenario, his mood, and if he thought he can get away with it. So no, the story does not begin with the prosecution and what they should or should not did. If you don't want to be involved and get misunderstood and get played by the legal system, stay the hell out of it. Bill did 3 years of a 10-year sentence. He got what he deserved. Because the prosecutors didn't do their job, he got out. That's what he deserved. It's all the same. You know what I'm saying? The prosecution was wrong and Bill was wrong. Simple as that. You married Bill, go do that with your wife. He wasn't drugging his wife. He wasn't drugging his wife, was he? He wasn't drugging Camille. He wasn't giving Camille Quaaludes, was he? I thought so. No, he wasn't doing that. Please stop. Please stop making excuses. He got what he deserved. He deserved to do some time. He did some time. The prosecutors did some stuff they weren't supposed to do, so now he deserves to get out. He got out. That's it. Simple as that. I don't have no sympathy for Bill. Because like I said, ain't nobody said it about T-Pain. Ain't nobody said it about Lil Baby. Ain't nobody said it about the Migos. You know they out here wilding out, doing all kind of stuff. Ain't nobody said it about them. Ain't nobody said it about Denzel. Ain't nobody said it about Idris Elba. Ain't nobody said it about Forrest Whitaker. So please stop. Every excuse in the book. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivy. This is your West Side Connection, up bright and early. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well.
Thank you for having me. I just joined your show about 15, 20 minutes ago, and I was listening to Donita. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong.
Donita.
But Donita, yes, our chop overseer, because she seems to work in lockstep with Glenn from Mason. But Mr. Ivy, I agree with you 100%, sir. You are 100% right. In the 2005 case, Bill Cosby admitted to purchasing Quaaludes to give to women for the purpose of having sex. Just like Charlemagne the God He did the same thing, putting Spanish fly in women's drinks. Now, Mr. Ivy, like you said, in the first case, they messed up because they were on a mission. The Me Too movement was going strong back then. Plus, they wanted to bring down Bill for the pound cake speech. So the first case got thrown out, like Danita said, because they weren't supposed to use certain things. But in that second case, which got him locked up, like you said, Mr. Ivy, for the 2 years, that was God's way of making Bill pay his debt for doing what he did to women, which was wrong. It was something wrong with Bill mentally, okay? But in that first incident with Gloria Comstock, that woman that played basketball, she caught Bill, and Bill claimed he was putting Benadryl in her drink. Okay, so again, Mr. Ivy, I gotta agree with you on this one, sir. 100%. Donita, I get what you're trying to do, sis, but Bill Cosby got exactly what he deserved. He deserved to spend that 2 years while he was applying for his appeal. But that's how it works sometimes. You know what they say. God don't like ugly. And Bill Cosby, he couldn't buy his way out of this one like he did in the first case, where they said they couldn't use that testimony. But again, Mr. Ivy, I agree with you 100%. But that just goes to show you, sir, how our judicial system works when you have these activist judges, like the ones in some of these blue cities across the country that are having problems with these criminals, and they're having problems trying to implement these new laws, or they call it criminal justice reform laws, when it comes to the bail and the bond system. So again, Mr. Ivy, I'm just going to hang up and continue listening because it's Thursday and Bill Cosby's out of jail, but he deserved to do those 2.5 years, whatever, how much time he spent. He 80-something years old. I'm pretty sure he ain't going to be throwing no parties. I'm pretty sure the only women that will associate with him, knowing his history, are women who are trying to get something out of Bill. But the man's 82, almost 83 years old. Leave the man alone. Let him start his little podcast like every other celebrity, sports, entertainment. Everybody got a podcast now. And, just let him live the rest of his life in peace. That's all. But other than that, Mr. Ivy, I'm going to keep it short, and I'm going to get up out of here. Drop Squad 52, dropping science. Go ahead, Desperate Democrats. Your party is a mess.
Hey, good morning, comrade. Hey, bro, not guilty. You got to feel me, okay? Bill Cosby is a great American, a great Black American in history, okay? And you're gonna look when Black people beat the system, you have to root for them, or you're not Black. Period. You have to. You have to. Once they beat the system in the fashion that he has, especially. He did 2 years up top in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania State Penitentiary. He got for what? Because he copped a deal with the government to tell them what he was doing. You're not allowed to do that, bro. That's just the legality of it. Okay? This is just the legality of it. I cop a deal with the government to tell you what I've done. Okay? In exchange for you not doing nothing to me. And then 12 days before the statute of limitations runs, they get a new prosecutor in there. This is politics. Okay? This new prosecutor comes in there and doesn't want to honor the deal that I cut with the other elected officials. That's ridiculous, bro. Look, Bill Cosby was railroaded. Bill Cosby deserves our respect, our love. Okay? We all grew up watching Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby's a legend. Okay? You're not going to do this today. I got time for you today, Nathan Ivey. Totally. Bill Cosby's a great Black American who cut a deal with the government to tell what he did. In exchange for that, he was supposed to be clean. We all do stuff, all right? He copped to the government and told him what he did.
We all
and then the next prosecutor comes in there, absolutely. Look at OJ, all right? This is the level of stuff we're talking about. Now, OJ did his crime, did the crime, and all that. Oh, look, Bill Cosby didn't deserve this. He didn't. The affiliation has been revoked from Drop Squad 52. And I've already got clearance from the triumvirate. His affiliation with the All-Middle's been revoked because we don't do this. When African-American Black men beat the system, we root for them because we're Black over here, okay? Period. Bill Cosby cut a deal with the government, and the next politician came in there and said, I'm going to make an example out of you because I want this job. That's what happened. Have a good day, comrade. All-Middle affiliation has been revoked from Drop Squad, and we're returning back to the original three. Have a great day.
All right. Damn. So you're going to revoke that brother's alt-middle pass because he kept it real about Bill Cosby. I know my mic was off for a second. Thank you for the calls. Okay. He says when Black men beat the system, we got to root for them because we Black. Okay. You know, I'm just saying, man, victims deserve better than that. They deserve better. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Nathan Ivey and the good people of Cincinnati, as well as the good people around the world. And yes, those choppers. Good morning, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Welcome.
Before we stay on topic with the Bill Cosby story, really quick, have you had a chance, Mr. Nathan Ivey, to follow Donald Rumsfeld, passing of Donald Rumsfeld last night?
I know he passed, but no, I'm talking about Bill Cosby right now.
Okay, then.
Yeah,
okay, you don't want to. Okay, we'll keep it on Bill then. All right, we'll keep it on Bill. You know, as I sat back listening the last half an hour, 45 minutes of all your callers, and the young lady before the last two callers, I do agree with your assessment on Bill Cosby, Mr. Nathan Ivey, but I 99% agree on what she was saying. You know, she's right that he was not convicted of what he said or didn't say. But, you know, we can debate that back and forth, what he testified, taking the Fifth Amendment. And let's face it, he didn't answer all the questions, but he did that testimony. And the prosecutor, yes, I agree with you. The prosecutor screwed up and it came back to bite the state. Now, 10 years, 5 years on good behavior, and he got out maybe a year or two a little earlier. Let's face it, people. We talked about Bill Cosby before, and let's recap to a lot of people that don't understand why these allegations came out. Now, I'm not saying it's he's convicted of what he did, doping people. That's not right. Drugging, you know, come on. But let's go back in time. Bill Cosby tried to buy NBC TV network before these allegations came out. This was maybe a year before it came out. Him and his people stepped forward, was going to buy it, and NBC took it off the market. Oh, that's racism. They knew all about the allegation of what Bill Cosby. After they took it off the market, all of a sudden, here comes these allegations. You're going to tell me that's not coincidence? That they knew what Bill Cosby and probably other people in Bill Cosby's circle was probably doing the same stuff. But Bill Cosby kept his mouth quiet. He didn't say anything. He took the heat, went along with it, served what, 3-4 years, and he walks only because the prosecutor screwed up. And deals we have to understand one thing, and your last caller hit it. He hit it right on the mark. It's negotiation behind the scenes. And some of these negotiations with the prosecutor and the judge we'll probably never know about. But they negotiated, and 80-something years old, I give him another 2-3 years. He's not going to be around too long. But it's about his empire, collapsing his empire, that money. I call her Pitbull. Those women with the lawyer, Gloria, what's her name? Gloria. I call her the Pitbull female lawyer with these type of allegations. I'm surprised she haven't went after Donald Trump yet, but that's coming down the pipeline. But it's all about collapsing Bill Cosby's empire, going after that money. $1 billion, what's he worth? $1 billion? You know that's what they want. That's always what they want. They don't care about him drugging. The system don't care about the drugging, the allegation. They care about that money. That's what they want to get. And even if Bill Cosby croaks today, they'll go after his wife. I don't know how many of you know the allegations with his wife. She's dean of Howard University Communications Department. And those allegations came forward. The university or people within the university want her to step down. She was just appointed dean of that department at Howard University. Why all of a sudden now you want her to step down? What? Because he comes out of jail, and I'm looking at the car driving down the highway. I said, what is this? O.J. Simpson all over again? It's stupid. I mean, the media got nothing better to do. Do they do that to white people that come out of jail? No. But they're setting a tone. They're going after black people. This is what this all. The media make me sick sometimes. Sometimes they are marked, and sometimes they're not. But that's what this whole thing is about. We need to understand that. When you got money, when you're worth $1 billion, you better not spit on the ground. They'll come after you as a black man and a black woman. And that's what this whole scenario with Cosby is all about. Now, don't get me wrong, and I'll end with this. I'm not saying he's guilty or not guilty. Yes, it's wrong what he did with drugging those women. I agree with that. But you have to look at the bigger picture, people. If you don't look at the bigger picture, you'll be confused and you'll take the bite with what the communications and what the media is throwing down at you. It's all about the money. What did the actor say? Show me the money. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day, John. Always good to hear from you, brother. Okay, let's get something straight here. It was 1992 when news articles came out and it was reported that Bill Cosby was trying to buy NBC from then General Electric. 1992. Bill Cosby was convicted in 2018, y'all. So you telling me that the Jewish authority was just out to get Bill Cosby? It was mad at Bill Cosby because he dared to try to buy NBC in 1992. This don't seem believable to me. Sorry. I know some people want to believe that, a black man trying to do something. Why didn't they go after Byron Allen? Why don't we hear these allegations about Byron Allen? He's worth several hundreds of millions, if not $1 billion. One of the biggest media moguls, black media moguls in the world right now. He's buying all kind of television stations and internet properties. Why didn't they go after him? They got to stop this black man from owning NBC was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard in my entire life. That's part of our problem. Probably can't get ahead because we can't be real. We so caught up with dumb-ish sometimes. We can't see things for what they really are. That was 1992. So you telling me they just held on to this for 2 decades to take Bill down because 20 plus years earlier, he thought about buying NBC, not stealing NBC, but purchasing NBC. Oh, my work is not done. Lord, forgive me for my brash delivery. They know not what they say. Thank you, Lord. Oh, dear Lord. Just go on Google, man, and type in Beverly Johnson. You're going to see all kind of interviews she did when she talked about how she felt like Bill Cosby drugged her. Type in John Amos, Vlad TV. He talks about the rumors that were out there in the industry about what Bill Cosby was doing. Malcolm Jamal Warner talked about he saw on the set that wasn't above board. Stop it, y'all. If you don't want to get caught up in the game, stay out the game. Simple as that. I'm not here to tell a married man to do with it. You do what you want to do as a married man, but if he's married to Camille Cosby, right? If he likes to drug people, go drug your wife. If he just kept it at home, none of this ever would have happened. But no, he want to drug women, giving them Quaaludes, which is illegal now, by the way. That have the same, and people acting like, well, they took the Quaaludes on their own. I'm sure some people may have, maybe. But don't act like that's the same as somebody picking up a bottle on the way to the hotel. It ain't the same, yo. Please stop. Hey, why don't you pick up a bottle of rosé? Okay. That happens all the time. Get a little relaxed. Get them feelings going. You know, bring down the inhibitions. Oh, absolutely. But like I said, you got all these men in Hollywood doing all this freaky kind of stuff. Ain't nobody said it about Ludacris. Ain't nobody said it about Tyrese. Ain't nobody said it about, like I said, Idris Elba. You name it. You got all these black men in Hollywood making all this money, probably doing all this freaky stuff. Ain't nobody came forward and said nothing about them. They just focus on Bill Cosby. Why? Because he did the Cosby Show. Please stop it. What's far more likely is that Bill Cosby had a pattern of actions that opened the door for this. That's why I say I don't have no remorse for him. You did it. If you don't want to get caught up in the game, stay out the game. Stay out the game. If you don't want there to be some kind of misunderstanding with women, then don't introduce drugs to those scenarios. If you're a married man and you don't want to get caught up in the game, then do all that stuff with your wife. Don't do it with other women outside your marriage. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, you won't get caught up in the game. Ain't nobody saying about Bokeem Woodbine. Ain't nobody saying about, and then in today's world with all these different podcasts and platforms, it's going to come out eventually. It's just so easy now to shoot a video. The easiest thing in the world to do is shoot a video and put it on WorldStar, or to put it on Instagram. It might get caught up by WorldStar. If you do dirt and you got a high profile name, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna come out. Nine times out of 10, it's gonna come out. The bigger your name, the more likely you are to be a target for whatever, and it's going to come out. So that's the moral of the story. The prosecutors did something they weren't supposed to do, and now Bill is free. Okay. That's what he deserves. But Bill was doing some shit that was strange, and he opened the door for him to get caught up in the game. He got what he deserved. Both things are true, I think, in my humble opinion. Both things are true. I think the moral of the story is keep your nose clean. And see, what I don't understand is there is plenty of women with a Bill Cosby type that'll let you do whatever he want to do to you. There's women out there that, Bill Cosby, do whatever you want to do. Go get those women and do whatever you want to do with them. They're down with it. But the mind of a predator is different. See, a predator don't want you to like it. He want to take it. That's what's fun to a predator. That's what he gets him off. You know what I'm saying? So being consensual ain't enough. I don't want you to like this. That's what I get pleasure at. There's some sick people out here. They get off on that kind of stuff. So maybe Bill was one of those people. We'll never know. We'll never know. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nathan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
Disgusted.
That's different.
Quite frankly,
that's different.
Disgusted at your lack of concern for a man having his constitutionally guaranteed rights violated by the government. His right to a fair trial. I mean, yes, I understand some of these women out here that are listening. Like I talked to one yesterday offline. Apparently, she didn't admit to it, but it was obvious. They suffered some type of sexual abuse or whatever, some type of sexual unwanted attention, and it's troubling for them to hear people support the good law and not having your rights being violated, and it comes off as supporting Bill Cosby. But it's equally troubling to hear people be okay with having his rights being violated as somebody who had their rights violated. All the man did, I mean, no, not all the man did, but what I'm saying is the prosecutor reneged on him, the new prosecutor, reneged on him, and that's totally unfair. And why can't it just be that? Why's it got to be that, we support, rape culture and all this kind of stuff? No, it's not that. He got railroaded by the system. And unfortunately, it took a very rich man to prove that. Because, Jamal Williams, he wouldn't be able to, the average man wouldn't be able to prove that. His case probably wouldn't even been heard by the Supreme Court. It probably would have got stopped at the appellate level. You understand? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I don't, I'm really just like perplexed that people would be okay with that to sacrifice this man. We're not, no. And besides, there's a like I said, when this first happened with him, victims don't go in the bedrooms of a married man and take pills of any kind, but hoes willing to pay for play will.
See, now you blame
these girls ain't necessarily. If you want to call them victims, go ahead. Like I said, victims don't go in the bedrooms of knowingly married men and take pills.
I reject that scenario.
You can reject it all you want to. It's a damn fact.
No, it's not. This is your opinion.
In
which you victim shaming.
No,
so
nobody's victim shaming. I'm just bringing out the light.
Is that if a woman goes to a married man's bedroom, and they do drugs together, let's say they smoking weed and drinking, that she still can't be raped in that scenario? Is that what you're telling me?
What I'm telling you
is,
of
course she can. So you victim shaming.
No, I'm not victim shaming. What I'm telling you is, can I finish the damn sentence?
Well, can you answer a question?
I'm trying to, but you keep answering your own question for yourself.
I gave you time. It's a real simple. The answer is yes. She can still be raped.
I don't find you to. The opposite word is you went into a married man's bedroom.
I don't care.
You knew what was about to go down, and you willingly take pills.
Pills, smoke, drink.
You willingly take pills.
Can a woman in that scenario be raped?
No.
And that's where we're wrong.
No.
Because the answer is obviously yeah.
No,
so you
not when you're willingly
let me back up here. Let me make sure I
stuff.
clarify. You telling me that if a woman goes to meet with a married man, goes to his bedroom, they do drugs together, let's say they do pills together, they do weed together, do drinking together, she loses the right to say no. That's what you're telling me.
If you know I'm married, you're only around me for one of two reasons: sex or money. And when I say money, I don't necessarily mean just greenbacks. I mean just opportunities to get money. You have no business in my bedroom where my wife lays. Again, victims don't take pills.
So in that scenario, a woman loses the right to say no. That's what you're telling me. Let's make sure we understand one another, because that's what you're saying. I want to make
No,
sure
she
you
does not
understand what
lose the
you're
right
saying.
she does not lose the right to say no, but if you take the pill, you ain't saying no.
So if she doesn't lose the
say
right
no
to
by
say
not coming
no,
in my room.
then that means
You
that
say
in that
no by not coming
scenario,
into
she
my
can be
bedroom.
raped. So you don't have no point.
You say no, Nathan. You say no by not coming into my bedroom.
Even though she crosses
I'm
that
married.
threshold, she can get in your
I'm
bed.
married.
She can spread her legs and still say no. Period.
I mean, I guess under the terms of the law you can, but then that's what Bill got screwed
Aren't we
over
talking about
by the
under
law.
the terms of the law? That's the whole point.
And he got screwed over by the law.
And he got what he
Railroaded.
deserved.
Well, how can you say that about a black man after 500 damn years?
I don't give a damn
clocked.
about no 500 years. So what? You wrong. Period.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand that
wrong is
be your
wrong
sentiment,
and right
but
is right. Period. I don't care if you
so
black.
you were
You could be
okay.
my
So you were
father.
okay with
it
this?
Makes no difference. You get what you get. Period.
I find it odd that you would use your father as an example.
You could be a relative.
Considering that you've told us that you and your father have
it could be anybody.
Okay.
I don't care who
you don't know
is.
me like that.
I'm not
Of
saying
course,
I
but
do.
okay, let me
I'm
say
just
this.
saying that I don't care about the race, the color, the creed of the perpetrator. It's the crime that matters. That's the whole point.
That's great. Now listen. So at the end of the day, what you're saying is you're okay with the prosecutor reneging on a previous deal and previous terms that were you're okay with him just go ahead and doing what the hell he wants to do. Imagine Joe Dieters doing that. The hell you would raid on these records. Imagine if Joe Dieters did that to somebody locally. Like for instance, say remember the Deion Sanders case. Joe Dieters gets newly elected. Say, no, we prosecuting Sanders. I don't care if they did meet it out in a civil case that is over with. I don't prosecute him. I'm going to retry him. He got found now guilty in a court of law. I'm going to retry him anyway. I don't think they presented some evidence. Can you imagine the hell you would raise? Oh, it's a whole different. Everything's a whole different damn scenario. You talking about a black man getting railroaded?
We don't need hypotheticals. Let's just deal with what actually happened. So
my answer to your question is
that Bill Cosby has gotten what he deserved. He deserved to do 3
just like
years,
you said.
and he deserved to be let free.
You said it yourself
across
perfectly.
the board.
Sir, you said it yourself perfectly. You said it perfectly. Let's talk about what actually happened. Bill's constitutional rights were abridged. That's what actually happened.
Bill Cosby got what he deserved. He deserved to do 3 years, and he deserved to be let free, period.
Okay. This take is very poor by you.
Actually, it's on point.
No, it's not. It's poor.
Actually, your take is poor because what you just told the world is that if a woman's dealing with a married man and goes into his bedroom and takes some drugs, smokes some weed, drink a little something, then she loses the ability to say no, which I think is ridiculous.
I don't see the women of the chop shop being that irresponsible.
Don't matter.
This ain't about we went driving, and we had to drive in or somewhere, and I took advantage of you. No, you're in my bedroom. What the hell you think goes on in here?
It don't matter.
What the hell you think goes on in my bedroom? I have 5 children.
Yeah.
What the hell you think about to go down in here?
It don't matter where she is. She still
you
got
want
the right to say no.
Then you say no before you step in here. But once you cross that threshold, them jaws is mine.
Yeah. Sounds like a rape attitude. Sounds very rapey to me.
Hey, it can sound rapey.
I'm just saying.
But the fact remains, victims don't do that.
You don't care about women.
Willing participants.
You don't care about women.
Okay, you're right. I know.
You don't care about. There's no way you can have that taken care about women.
Okay, if that's what you surmise from all that, anybody else?
That's what you just said.
I have no reason to want to dispel you of your folly. Okay, I have no reason to do that in this call. However, the fact remains.
You said it though.
However, the fact remains this man had his constitutional rights abridged. As long as you agree with that, you shouldn't have nothing else to say.
I mean, I said he got what he deserved all the way around.
He got okay. Well, I feel Tracy Hunter got what she deserved all the way around. And I'm up. Because you wanted Dinkelhocker, the new judge, to go against what the old guy
Completely out of
had already
context and
came up with.
irrelevant to this
It's
case.
not out of context.
It's out
It's
of
the same
context. It has
scenario.
no bearing and no similarities to this case whatsoever. Let's just keep it on this case.
Blatant dismissals, being blatantly dismissive does not make you any more right, Nathan. You need to accept the fact that you need to accept the fact that a black man had the system work in his favor, and it is what it is. You know, when you take the historical context into it, it's gonna be what it's be. People are gonna have these types of opinions. And before I go, I just want to say prayers to Bismarcky. He's apparently been admitted into hospice care. And you know, once you go into hospice care, it's just a matter of time. So therefore, prayers to him and his family. I wish them all the best. I've always said, and that is not just saying this because, you know, of his situation, that Vapors is the best rap song ever. It was so well written that the covers sound horrible because you can't really do nothing with it. You're telling four people. Big Daddy Kane wrote that so well for that man. Yeah, I just feel like that's the best song ever, and I've said that for like several years. But prayers to him and his family. And again, victims don't take pills. Willing participants and hoes do.
That's absolutely ridiculous. Sounds very rapey. That's him, not me. Sounds very rapey. Man or woman, you have a right to say no even after you start. Even after penetration. You can, if you want to say no, say no. Period. And what he just said is a part of what they call the rape culture. That's what that's called. This idea that there's a level in which a woman can't say no. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. Not one bit. And, you know, he must not have any daughter. I think he got a son or two. He don't have no daughters. You can't have a daughter and have that kind of attitude. Can't have it. It's very rapey, very pro-rapey. And I ain't with it. I don't give a damn where she is. I don't care what she did. If she say I'm done and she out, she out. Period. That's it. Before you start, after you start, near the end, it don't really matter. That's what it is. And I've been sick of Bill Cosby since back when he was going hard in the black community. Remember the mid 2000s? Michael Eric Dyson wrote a book titled, Is Bill Cosby Right or Has the Middle Class Lost His Damn Mind? It was in response because Bill Cosby for like 2 years went on a tour in which he was talking about single black mothers and black criminals. And he had no understanding about how the criminal justice system can railroad black people back then. I've been sick of Bill Cosby since then. He came to Cincinnati. He was over at Xavier, the Centaur Center. I went to go see him. He was talking all this highfalutin moralism about how we's got to do better and all this kind of stuff, and then left town, didn't leave a number, didn't leave any resources. At the same time, he out here drugging women. Hypocrite. But now when he, through his own actions, gets caught up in the legal system, oh, the legal system ain't fair to black people. Oh, lordy, they railroading black. He wasn't saying that back in 2005, 2004. When he was going on all these radio shows and television shows talking about how black people got to pull themselves over that bootstraps and he don't understand the crime. He wasn't saying nothing about how the criminal justice system railroads black people then, but he pulled an OJ. When he got caught up, all of a sudden, the system is unfair. All of a sudden, people getting railroaded. They was getting railroaded back then, Bill. When you was up on your high horse from your ivory tower, he got what he deserved, period. He was carrying all that water for the white folks, criticizing black folks. They was like, we love you. You had the civil rights community that was like, oh, you tell the truth, Bill. You tell it. You tell it. Until he got caught up. All of a sudden, it's a problem through his own actions. So please stop. Bill's a hypocrite. Phylicia Rasad's an asshole, and he got exactly what he deserved. All the way around. He deserved that time. So what? They railroaded you with your own words. Yeah, and he's getting out, and he deserves to be out. Same way. Bill Cosby got what he deserved all the way around. Sometimes life works like that. Sometimes life works like that, where you end up getting exactly what you deserve and then a little bit more than you deserve. That's just the way life works sometimes. And I bet he won't be drugging no women no more. And again, like I said, you got all kind of women out here. You got women that's selling it. Go get you one of these women and pay for it. She'll let you do whatever you want to do. But that's not enough for a predator. A predator don't want that. A predator wants to do it with a woman that don't want it. And the fact that she don't want it is part of what turns them on and all this kind of psycho, sicko, think he's super slick type ish. He got what he deserved all the way around. Don't let nobody tell you throughout the rest of the day, everybody's going to be talking about this. Bill Cosby got what he deserved. He deserved to do that time. And he deserves for his time to end. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? What's the moral of this story? The moral of this story is don't be drugging women that's not your wife. Go drug your wife. You're married to her. If you like drugging and taking Quaaludes, do Quaaludes with her. Have sex with her while she unconscious. But you don't want to do that, do you? No, you want to get some strange, some new. Yeah, that new. I get you, Bill. I see you. I understand. He got what he deserved, people. Stop making excuses for this predator. And what Fame just said is the most rapey thing. Talking about, if you go to a married woman's bedroom, married man's bedroom, once you cross that threshold, you get what you get. No, you don't. You don't deserve that. You can go in there, drink, drug, whatever inside. I don't want to do this. And that means no. You can get started and be penetrated and decide, no, I don't want to do this. And that means no. That means no. Anthony writes, buffoonery at his best. What is ready? Oh my God. So you missed 5 minutes. My bad about that. John is going to talk about politics. No, he's not. Let me see here. Charles writes, damn, Drop, they took the mascot suit away from you. You've been fired before, bro. I feel your pain, LMAO. Yeah, I do. Let me see. They drop. Yeah, they drop. Mrs. Love Being Black writes, where are they victims when they write books talking about how they lie on Bill? Let me see. He writes, I still support the alt middle and their affiliates. He want to be with the alt middle so bad. Let me see. Mrs. Love Being Black writes, he was about to buy NBC is when they killed his son. Then when he was about to buy the Discovery Channel is when these allegations came out. I don't understand this. What makes you think? I don't get it. So if people really believe this, and I think it's one of these popular myths in the black community, that because Bill Cosby tried to buy some media assets, that somebody was out to get him. My question for you is, why haven't they did this to Byron Allen? I'll wait. Why haven't this to Byron Allen? Byron Allen is the biggest media mogul in America. He's buying the Weather Channel, all kind of cable channels. Why haven't they did this to him? I just don't believe that. I just feel like because of the history of black folks in America and all the evil and the schemes and the games and the crimes, that now we project this to try to get some understanding out of things that are happening. Like for some people, that's the only way they can understand what's happening with Bill. Like he must have been trying to get too big. He getting too uppity. Then why didn't do this with Byron Allen? Byron Allen out here shaking trees and filing lawsuits against huge ass big ass conglomerates. Why haven't they exposed the dirt or went after his family members after him? And he doing the same thing that Bill Cosby did? And people forget, like in the mid 2000s, Bill Cosby was like that black dude that was talking down to black people. Running around here talking about how you got to pull your pants up and buying pound cake and making excuses as to why police kill unarmed black people and criticizing single mothers and criticizing the black family. Ain't that the kind of black man that they want to put on a pedestal? Please stop. Please stop. Blester Messi writes, good morning. Kamiki writes, how did that hurt the NBC brand? Lamidia writes, damn, this dude is an effing talker. Vicky writes, the prosecutors have lied on many people and sometimes freed them from their lies. Tabitha writes, Bill said they all were into drugs in Studio 54. It was a thing to do back in the day. And Hollywood is into drugs, and they still are heavily into drugs. Example, Anna Nicole Todd Bridges. Let me see. Kamiki writes, those arguments are ridiculous. Anime writes, MFs is definitely a Byron Allen. He said it too. You ain't heard about all of a sudden people coming up missing in Byron Allen's family. And I haven't heard about any rape allegations from Byron Allen. I don't know what the brother's doing. Anything can happen. But again, sometimes it's a plot. And then sometimes you slip on a banana peel. Like people's actions end up opening the door for them to get prosecuted. I mean, it happens. You know what I'm saying? Just because Bill Cosby was a black dude and Bill Cosby was an entertainer people like, don't mean that Bill Cosby wasn't doing evil stuff behind closed doors. It don't mean that. You know, sometimes, you never know people. In fact, you never really know people. Let me see. G. Birch writes, by a similar argument, Nate, the incident over which Cosby was convicted allegedly occurred in 2004. Why did the alleged victim wait 13 to 14 years to pursue the charges? Because of what's happening right now, G. Birch. Because of the public shame and ridicule. I mean, think about this, G. Birch. I'm glad you asked this question. I want to spend some time on it. It's real simple. There are women that have been sexually abused, violently sexually abused by everyday regular dudes. Just regular old dudes. Some dude at a party, some dude in college. And they never come forward because of the shame, the ridicule. They feel like, yeah, I did go back to his house. People won't believe me. You know, all this kind of stuff. John's double dipping. We're not taking 2 calls from one person in the morning, John. I appreciate you. I love that you love the show. But no, we don't want to double dip. I want to get as many different voices in as possible today. But back to G. Birch. The reason why is because of shame, guilt, people that feel like they did it to themselves. There are women who have been raped by just classmates in college, date rape, never come forward because of the public shame and ridicule. Okay. Can you imagine if it's Bill Cosby? This man got $400,000, $500,000, $700,000 in the bank, connections all through the world, big time name, America's dad. At the turn of the millennium, as we went from 1999 to 2000, I remember our culture was really caught up with doing all of these lists, like the best of the millennium. Bill Cosby was named the #1 television dad. I think it was like TV Guide did like, I'm not even sure they're around anymore, but remember TV Guide? TV Guide did like a top 10 list or top 100 list of the best television dads. Bill Cosby was chosen #1 in a poll of readers. Can you imagine what that's like to come forward and tell the world and try to get justice? And the person that you are alleging raped you is Bill Cosby? That's why she waited 13, 14 years. Because she probably felt like nobody's going to believe her. And she was right. You got people in here making this, you're talking about some NBC. He tried to buy NBC. Every excuse in the book. You got people here talking about Rosewood as if that has anything to do with it. You just had a black man. You had 2 black men call in. One black man said, well, if there's a black dude, you got to let it roll. The other black man said that if you're dealing with a married man and you go to his bedroom, then he can do whatever he want to do to you. You can't say no. That's why she didn't come forward. Look at us. That's why. It's more a reflection on us as a society than it is on these victims. That's why I support the victims. In most cases, when I hear about this stuff. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'm back on point now. You know, I'm not infallible. But I blame society. We don't have the kind of society that is welcoming to victims. We don't. You know, we don't have that kind of society. We're not there yet. You know, people will, why'd you go there? And why'd you drink that? And why'd you wear that? And why'd you say that? You know you was married and you knew you was married and you knew that. That's why people make up every excuse in the world to blame the victim. That's why people don't come forward, G. Birch. That's why they wait 13, 14 years. That's the reason why what you'll see, the same thing happened with Trump. One person will have the courage to come forward, and then somebody be watching TV like, they got the courage. I take courage from them. And then they come forward. And then somebody else is like, same thing happened to me. It's because now they feel like they're not alone. That's why. This is very easily explained. This ain't no rocket science. It's because of our society. We have a very anti-victim society. I mean, just look at the victimization of Black people and how that is rejected. It's the same thing. You know, in American society, we don't really embrace victims. We don't really victim. The victims of America's Holocaust against Black people, we still haven't fully embraced that. There's people out there still arguing against that. I ain't responsible. You don't need reparations. It wasn't that bad. It's the same thing all the way around. This country was based upon the victimization of other people through war, rape, power. And it's still in us. It's still in us. That's why. So it's plenty of men and women who have been sexually taken advantage of. In fact, they will never come forward because they don't want to deal with it. They feel like members of their own family won't believe them. That's why, G. Birch. It's us, not them. Well, T.I. and Tiny wouldn't have to drug me. I'd do it willingly. They hot. You know, people had that kind of mentality. Oh, Bill Cosby don't have to rape nobody. He can have anybody he want. You wanted it. You liked it. Believe it or not, you can be married and rape somebody. Believe it or not, even if you're a big time star, because rape is not about sex. It's about power. It's about I'm in control. I'm dominating you. I'm taking something from you that you don't want to give to me. And there's some sick individuals that get off on that. That's what it's about, G. Birch. Let me see here. Terrence is still making ridiculous points. I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. You slipping, bro. You slipping. You've been slipping. Let me see. You can always tell people trying to go back 3 weeks ago and make silly ass points. It's like, come on, man, get with what's going on right now. I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. You slipping, Terrence. Tabitha writes, all these things are true. Victims stay silent. Criminals sometimes get off the hook. People that do drugs hang together. Let me see. Drop writes, the chop shop is rather comical this morning. It is. It is. Vicky writes, Bill Cosby is worth $400 million. Okay. Shit, that's a lot of money. A lot of money. Why is a man who's worth $400 million giving women quaaludes? You don't have to. There is plenty of women that'll do anything Bill Cosby said for free. It's married women that'll jump in bed with Bill Cosby and do whatever he said for free just for the experience. Like, it's some people that think that really means something. Mrs. Love being Black writes, they did go at Ballin Allen. He had to fight to even get his network to be considered as a network. Not really the same. No, not really the same. Byron Allen has been alleging that when he was starting his networks that he was dealing with racial discrimination. That ain't the same as some people said they went after Bill Cosby killed his son or something like that. And then other people think that these rape allegations were started by NBC executives who had a 20-year grudge against Bill Cosby. I mean, just preposterous. Not the same. Let me see. Mrs. Love being Black writes, Nate, I think you still mad at Bill Cosby what he said about Black people. We feel like he turned his back on us, so you turning your back on him. I mean, no. I mean, I didn't make Bill Cosby rape somebody. I didn't make Bill Cosby, get a civil lawsuit against him. He did that. I'm just simply responding to it. My point is that during the mid 2000s, Bill Cosby couldn't understand that black people can get railroaded by the criminal justice system. He had no tolerance for that. It was all about personal responsibility. Well, same thing in this. Same thing in this. Personal responsibility. If you weren't out here doing risky things, you never would have been at risk, Bill. Never would have happened. Terrence writes, just read the first page of the PA Supreme Court decision, for which there were two dissenting opinions, by the way. If you're going to read the decision, you should read all of the decisions. Just read the first page of the decision. We'll take the air out of all this guessing Nate is doing. Why are you so involved or so invested in trying to take the air out of what I'm doing, what I'm saying? You caught up with the wrong things, my man. And then secondly, you can read it, and what you're going to find is what I told you. The facts are the facts. The facts that remain is that the prosecution allegedly, apparently, had a verbal or written, we haven't seen the written agreement. We'll go with that, though. They had a written agreement with Bill Cosby's team that if he would, and there was two parts to this actually, that if he would be, honest and forthright in his testimony in the civil trial, that they wouldn't use what he said against him in a criminal charge. The other thing that the court said is that the prosecutors brought in other witnesses that they shouldn't have. These were other witnesses that testified that Bill had did something to them as well. That's what happened. Those are the facts. Those are, they're not really open for debate. As I said earlier, he got off on a procedural technicality. That's the facts. So I'm not sure what we're missing here. If I'm wrong about anything, then send a link and I'll put it up. But that is what happened. So Bill Cosby did not get off because they found new evidence. He didn't get off because Andrea Constant decided, you know what, I lied about it. That's not what happened. They didn't get off because the prosecutors withheld information. He got off because a prosecutor, the first prosecutor, made an agreement, and then the second prosecutor didn't honor the agreement. That's what happened. If we have found out that Bill Cosby, that some new evidence came forward, or let's say the woman involved say, you know what, I've been lying all this time, that would be completely different. Then I would say, you know what, Bill Cosby got railroaded. That's not what happened. Bill Cosby, as most people do, suffered the consequences of his own actions. He got what he deserved. The prosecutors did not go by the legal rules, and now he's free. And that's what he deserved. So that's why I keep saying Bill Cosby got what he deserved all the way around. And if you're really fair about it and you look at life, typically that's what happens. Typically, your life is a manifestation of your actions, typically. And then sometimes you can open the door and things can go real left. And that's what happened with Bill. Simple as that. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nate. This is Deborah Nisbet. This is
Good morning,
the voice
Deborah.
of reason. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm doing great.
Man, you know how I feel about the Bill Cosby thing. I told you he forever threw himself under the bus with me. And it's after a lifelong, not relationship, but a lifelong of admiring and seeing this man at least as a public mentor, from Bill Cosby and the Cosby Kids, all the way up to my daughter's dinner. And then, of course, you got the Cosby Show in a Different World. You had the Cosby Mysteries. You had the second sitcom he did with Bill Cosby and Phylicia Rashad as his wife, which explains why she's going to bat for him. Because, he did put her on through two TV series. He's responsible for a great portion of her career. So, okay, whatever. She's defending her former boss. I don't know. I feel bad for her because, he's obviously guilty, but I don't know. I just wish she hadn't put herself in that position. It would be better if she just stayed quiet. But and then even in my daughter's generation with that cartoon Little Bill, like that was something she watched when she was little. People don't talk about that much. But he's been a great mentor. I mean, in I Spy and in movies, even Ghost Dad is a horrible movie, but I mean, he was still a dad in a movie. Like, he's been a mentor for America through generations, through decades. And underneath all of that, he's drugging and raping women. Like, it's two different people. His public persona and who he is behind closed doors are not the same person. One question I keep seeing pop up is, why did these women wait so long to say what happened? Like, what? That's not what happened. The lady, I never can pronounce her name, Andrea Constant or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
She went to his house. Like, as a person who's known, like I said, who's known of Bill Cosby through all of those TV shows as an executive producer and everything, if Bill Cosby had said, show up at my house for a party, like, let's talk about trust. Let's talk about somebody you would believe in and trust. I would have completely had 100% trust in Bill Cosby. I would have never thought in a million years you're going to go to Bill Cosby's house despite the whole Spanish Fly routine. Like, I would have never thought in a million years that you would go to Bill Cosby's house, that he doesn't even say that he didn't give the women drugs or that this stuff doesn't happen. He says he gave her antihistamines. Like, if you listen to Bill Cosby's story about all of this, it's skep. It's so extra skep. He doesn't say it didn't happen. He just says it happened different from the way they say it happened. Like, that is the excuse of rapists everywhere. She misunderstood my intentions. She misunderstood what was really going on. No, she trusted Bill Cosby. And sadly, that trust led to her believing, like, hey, I don't feel so good. I'm at this party. Let me give you some antihistamines, according to Bill Cosby. And then she wakes up at his house butt-ass naked, wondering what the hell happened. Like, having vague memories of what happened. And basically, he gave her a date rape drug. Like, that's what happened. And she didn't wait years and years to report it. She reported it. She was immediately like, this is wrong. This is bad. I'm going to report it to the police, like she did immediately. She didn't wait. What happened was Bill Cosby has a whole slew of publicists and lawyers and people who keep stuff like this under wraps. What happened was Bill Cosby, unfortunately, ran up against the internet. Where now nothing, like, for years in the 80s, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have it the way it is now, where you could just, if you had a good publicist and a couple of lawyers, you could keep a lot of stuff quiet. But you can't do that anymore. The internet is forever. People are going to remember what I say right now about Bill Cosby forever, if I should ever become famous or whatever. Like, people are going to be like, hey, remember what you said about Bill Cosby? Yes, I said it, and I'll stand by it forever. And we live in an age where whatever you say now, you either have to be willing to stand by it forever, or if you're proven wrong, you have to be willing to say, I was wrong and this is my new position. There's none of that equivocation anymore. You can't just say, like, oh, I didn't say that. Yes, you did. Because people have it on tape. They have it on recording. And that's what Bill Cosby ran against. He ran up against the whole internet. And Hannibal Buress blew him up. Because Bill Cosby was doing the whole black respectability politics thing. Black men, pull your pants up and, take care of your children. Like, they're doing that. Like, it's not his purview to talk about youth culture anymore. I don't know. Maybe it is, because he spent his life, I don't know, helping define youth culture or black youth culture. But I mean, he came at people left and people called him out on it. Hannibal Buress really called him out on it. Like, how are you going to tell black people how to behave when you have this woman accusing you of rape? And then what happened was, it wasn't that this one woman waited to report the crime against her that she said happened against her. Women started coming out of the woodwork from years back. That's where people get it confused. Like, women started coming back from as early as, I think, the 60s, like, yes, Bill Cosby drugged me. I said it and nobody believed it. Bill Cosby had cases that, he had settled out of court. There's like well, we ain't gonna talk about that. But just like other famous celebrities who settled things out of court, and that's just what happened. You know, he had good publicists, he had good lawyers. He, you know, the infamous non-disclosure agreements where you get your money and you're not allowed to talk about it. And Bill Cosby took advantage of all of that up until Hannibal Buress was like, you know what? Bill Cosby is a rapist. He's telling black people that they should be respectable. He's telling our kids they should pull up their pants. He's telling our kids how to behave. And by the way, Bill Cosby is a rapist. And it blew up. People were like, what? And they started Googling it. And Google is forever. And people were like, whoa, this is really a thing. This is really true. And Bill Cosby, there was no publicist in the world that could keep that under wraps at that point. The internet is forever, people. Remember that. So I don't know. It's a horrible thing what he's done throughout the decades. It's a sad note to his career, and he's blown up, I don't know, decades of what could have been solid, stellar work with, I don't know, his behavior, and it's awful. It's horrible. He's taken what could have been a really good body of work, and it's always going to be tainted by what he's done to women forever. So that's my sermon for today, folks. See you out here on the internet today.
Appreciate the call. That's Deborah Nesbitt. Appreciate her call. I mean, if you really want to get into it, I think you should, let me post this to you. You can read the opinion. This is from the Philadelphia Inquirer, and you can read the opinion for yourself. I think that if you're going to be fair about it, you should read the dissenting opinions as well, just to get a sense of where the judges were and where their head was and how they viewed it. So again, I think if you're going to look at this and talk about it, look at it from a fact-based standpoint. You know what I'm saying? We all have opinions. You know, I got a strong opinion, but look at it from a fact-based standpoint. Andrea Constant put out a statement too, saying that her team was never aware of an agreement between the former prosecutor and Bill Cosby's defense team. She said she had no idea, and that she fears that this will make it more difficult for victims to come forward, and it will. It'll make it more. It's going to make it more difficult for victims to come forward. It was not a unanimous decision. There was some dissenting opinion. I think it's worthy for those that want to talk about the opinions and things like that. You should read it all. I mean, it's a bit of a read now. You're going to be reading about about 100 pages, but I mean, it's not impossible. Yeah, you should check it out for yourself. And it all comes down to a press release that was issued by the former district attorney, Bruce Castor. Justice Thomas G. Saylor dissented. He did not believe that the press release, and again, this stuff gets really, really, really into like the details here. So the former prosecutor or district attorney, Bruce Castor, put out a press release, and that was at the center of this, is that the majority of the judges believe that within that press release was an agreement that was made between Bill Cosby and his team. I mean, I'm telling you, Bill Cosby is lucky to be out right now. He is lucky to be out. And, you know, if that's what the majority opinion is, then that's what the majority opinion is. He deserves to be released. And now he's at home and he can drug Camille. He's home. He can get back to drugging. Camille, here's some Quaaludes. Let's get it popping, honey. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. This is Carmelita. How are you today?
Hey, Carmelita. Good morning. I'm doing well.
That's good. My only issue, I agree with your point. If you don't do it, then you don't get in trouble for it. I also agree with he did his time. They messed up. He should have got out. But I also feel like the lady that looked like a dude, the who said that he raped her like several times. The first time is shame on you. The second time is shame on me. If I get raped by somebody, I'm not going back. I'm not doing that again. So that's why I don't believe her story. Because the first time it happened, okay, you got that off. Or you didn't get it off, whatever. But the second time it happened, that's where I get into you definitely put yourself in that situation, so you didn't have an issue with it.
Is that what she
He,
said?
she said that he raped her several times on several different occasions. You're not gonna rape me more than once. I'm not gonna be in the room with you more than once.
I don't remember that.
At what point? Is there personal responsibility? Because you keep putting yourself in the situation to be raped. If that's what you're saying happened now, that's why I don't believe her. The
I
lady
don't
who he
remember
was
that.
originally convicted for.
That's not
She
how the
said it
story
happened.
goes, Carmelita. That's not what
No,
happened.
she said it happened. She said it happened more than once.
Really? I don't remember. I think what I remember is she said that going back to like January 2004, she had a bunch of stuff going on. She went to his house after a night out with friends, and he listened to her complaints. He gave her 3 blue pills, and that was the night that she sexually assaulted him, or he sexually assaulted her. She said that she continued to have a friendship with him, but I don't remember her saying that it happened over multiple times. I could be wrong about that, but I don't remember that.
That's what I remember, and that's why I don't feel like it's true.
I don't remember that.
From
What I
the
remember
very
is
beginning, that's what I remember. She said it happened more than once. How the hell does it happen more than once? I'm not going to put myself in that situation for it to happen more than once.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that. I
Unless
remember
I
that it
like
happened
it.
that one night, and then she said that she continued to have like a friendship or some kind of friendly contact with him. But I don't remember her saying, I'm talking about Andrea Constant. I don't remember her saying it happened over multiple times. I could be wrong. Let me do some checking on that, but I don't remember that.
If I'm wrong, I'm open to be corrected, but I do believe that she said it happened more than once. And that to me threw her credibility out the window, because it's not going to happen more than once unless I like it.
Okay. All right. All right, Carmelita, thank you for the call.
Look, strong face heifer.
Strong face? Oh my gosh. I don't remember that. Let me see if I can find something here. There might have been another woman, but Andrea Constant said that it happened one night and they maintained like a friendly relationship, or they had some kind of contact or something. I think she even took her parents to meet Bill Cosby. I think it was something like that, but I don't remember her saying that it happened over multiple times. That might have been somebody else who said that, but I don't remember that. And how she looks, I think, is irrelevant to the whole situation. And what you got to understand is that a predator is just like people that prey on kids. They don't prey on every kid. They watch and they wait and they prey on children they think they can get it off on. Kids that they think will deal with it in a certain way. Kids that they think don't have a good relationship with their parents. I think that a predator, a serial rapist is the same thing. You know, he tried that where he did it with her or tried it with her because he thought he could get it off on her. He thought it would work. No one will believe her. Maybe it's because of how she looked or whatever. I don't know. But I don't remember that. I have to do some checking on that. Maybe somebody else got that information, but I would agree with you. But again, that whole rape thing, man, we can't look at it from a rational brain. You know, you talking about a sexual assault is a life-changing event. And it's hard to predict how somebody's going to react to a situation like that. And it's easy for us to Monday morning quarterback it from a logical perspective, but you're talking about trauma. You have no idea how somebody's going to react when they've been traumatized. You have no idea. And you know what we do know, and studies back this up, is that people have been traumatized will sometimes put themselves right back in the same situation to try to do it differently. Like to try to have control over, like last time I lost control, this time I'm going to have control, you know, and they'll recreate the same scenario of their trauma in some cases. That happens. It doesn't lessen what happened to them, but I'm just saying the human brain, we're still trying to figure out who we are, how we react to things. We don't really know. The scientists haven't figured it all out. And so it's hard to predict and to say what somebody should do and how somebody should act after they've been sexually assaulted and they're dealing with some serious trauma. I don't think that's fair. I don't think we know. You know what I'm saying? A traumatizing event, man, you could change somebody's whole personality. You might change the whole, they might be going this way, have trauma, and go this way. You never know. That's why I think we should be very careful about what we would do and how we would react. And we ain't never been dealt with it before, because you don't really know. Somebody traumatize you and take advantage of you, you might become a whole different person. You might act out in ways that people will think are completely illogical and are not consistent with the veracity of your claims. I don't know. I've never been sexually assaulted. I know that for a fact. No one's ever taken advantage of me. So I can't speak from intimate knowledge. If it had, I'd tell you right here and now. You know me, I keep it real with you. I don't know what that's like, but I know enough to know what I don't know. And I don't know. I don't think there's any one right way or wrong way that somebody acts when they've been sexually assaulted. You're talking about trauma. Which, sidebar here, I was remiss in my duties. When I talked with Kevin Aldridge earlier in the week, we were talking about the crime that's happening. There's a brother named Ronald Hummins who is 100% on point. If we don't deal with the trauma that's happening in our communities, we'll never deal with the violence or anything else. Just a sidebar. It came to me last night. I'm like, damn, why not say that then? I forgot. That brother is 100% on point. That's what we should be talking about. All the things, but the conversation about trauma in our community is vastly under talked about, vastly under analyzed. And you know why? Is because our society is not set up to care about victims, no matter what they're victim of. This American society was set up by conquerors, the victimizers. And so we can't be surprised that our values, even to this day, still closely mirror the values of the victimizers, of the conquerors. That's part of the reason why so many people have so little patience with victims. It's part of the reason why we find it so difficult and so hard to understand people who've been victimized. Because American society was set up by the conquerors, by the victimizers, by the people doing the trauma. So even to this day, we more closely identify with that than we do the other thing. And even goes to sexual assaults. It's the reason why we it's because who we are, who we were set up to be. This society wasn't set up to care about victims. Where they do that at? Not in America. This society was set up by the conquerors, by the victimizers. We can understand that. You know what I'm saying? We have an ends justify the means society. All the other stuff, that's all touchy-feely and feelings. We don't really understand all that other kind of crap. Tell me I'm wrong. You cannot. 513-873-7134. So why it's so hard for people to understand that? I'm just cut from a different cloth. I can see things a little more objectively. I can see things a little differently. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for the victims. I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying? We'll cape for the victimizers all the time. Oh, they're just going after Bill because he's got the money. Those kind of attitudes, who those kind of attitudes support? Exactly. The same mentality. The same, I'm going to make some associations here. People might not like it, but it's that same mentality why it's so difficult to get equity policy, intangibles, and reparations. It's kind of like, it wasn't that bad. Like from time to time, people will say that. Like, slavery wasn't that bad. There were some good things that happened. It's the victimizer, colonizer mentality. Same thing. It's like, you shouldn't have been to his bedroom. He's a married man. You got what you deserved. Somebody just called me on a 501 number. Call me. I'll put you straight back on. Sorry about that. Put you straight on. 513-873-7134. All right. That's my time. Coming up today, Is It Just Me podcast special day, Thursday. And Donnie's going to be live streaming today at 12:30 p.m. I'm sure she's going to talk about Cosby She is a lawyer, so she can break this down in a way that I cannot and others cannot, and get into it. Black female perspective, among other things as well. So check out the live stream today when you see it at 12:30 p.m. Make sure you check her out. And that's just what it is. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Caramel writes, don't be drugging women. That's the bottom line. Thank you, Caramel. That is the bottom line. The moral of the story is don't drug women. If you're a married man, go drug your wife. If you're a big time celebrity, got all this kind of money, all this kind of visibility, you're America's dad, everybody know you to be this father guy, then be that guy. Like I said, ain't nobody saying this about Forrest Whitaker. Ain't nobody saying this about LeVar Burton. That's the Reading Rainbow guy. Ain't nobody saying it about, like I said, Morgan Freeman. You got all these freaky deaky dudes in Hollywood doing all kind of freaky deaky stuff. But it's only Bill Cosby that all these women said did something. I don't believe it. I'm not saying that everybody was telling the truth, because we know that some of them have recanted. And I'm glad they did. But where there's smoke, there's fire. Say it with me, y'all. Bill Cosby got what he deserved all the way around. He deserved to do that time. He deserved for his time to end. And that's it. Sometimes that's the way life works. Rachel writes, late to the chop shop, but good morning, choppers. Hey, good to see you. Let me see. Rachel writes, if you have to drug someone to get the draws, that is a problem. Rachel writes, there were plenty of women willing to sleep with Bill to get ahead. He did not have to drug them. Why would he drug them? Power. Right. Thank you, Rachel. It's about power. It's not even about sex. It's about power. Rape is about power. That's what people forget. It's not about sex. Bill Cosby can get sex anywhere. All kind of women, white women, Greek women, Italian women, African American women, you name it. Tall women, short women, athletic women, you name it. Women with degrees, women that dropped out of high school, women with teeth, women with no teeth. You know what I'm saying? He can get that. But what he wanted was the sexual whatever he got out of dominating a woman. And he paid for it. So Terrence wants to hold me accountable. Okay, you can do that, bro. You hold me accountable, dude. You do that. You do that. Let me see. Anthony writes, all but power, stationary in Germany for a few years. A brother was 17 years. He was raping German women. Wife was a beautiful sister soldier, also had kids. Right. Just because, listen, I'm just saying, ladies, watch it. Men, watch it. Jay Rose writes, he's done his time. He was going to get out at some point. Hashtag unequal justice. If he would have did 10 years, so what? That's what you get for raping women. You get what you get. Let me see. Kamika writes, there was not a written agreement. Right. It was written in the press release that the prosecutor put out many years ago. Let me see. Jay Rose writes, white folks get out in technicalities too. Right. So yeah, it happens all the time. Especially Bill Cosby got $400 million. What does that mean? That means that even when he's in jail, he's got a high-powered team of lawyers, consultants, public image specialists working on his behalf 24/7. And it worked for him. Great. Let me see here. Rape is about power. Black Russia wants to know, who is your God? Let me see. Bunky Bayana. What's up, Bunky? He writes, hey, Nate. Hey. Good to see you, Bunky. Let me see. Enemy writes, Nate is hot this morning. Black Russia writes, Nate, sounds like you don't know who God is. Sounds like I don't know who God is. Okay. Terrence writes, it's funny though, noticing how some wants to put words in your mouth. The Constitution is not a technical matter. Gloria Alvarez said the same thing during her press conference. People get out on technicalities all the time. Happens all the time. What does that mean? It means that it's not the merits of the facts of the case. It's some kind of procedural thing that the prosecutor or the judges didn't adhere to. Those are called technicalities. That's what they call it. I mean, I didn't come up with it. That's what it's called. Let me see. Okay, I see Smitherman's coming up. Okay, listen, that's my time. I really appreciate you. Got to make a move here. Got a bunch of things going on today. I know this is a really, really hot topic. I wanted to weigh in on it and give you some strong opinions, and I've done that. Have an excellent rest of your day, family. Remember our motto: winners focus on winning. Losers focus on winners. So stay focused and stay winning, and we'll catch up real soon. Have an excellent rest of your Thursday. Don't forget to check out the Is It Just Me podcast today at 12:30 p.m. with Donnie B. You know it's going to be hot. Okay, you know she's going to have a strong opinion about Bill and everything else. Make sure you check it out. Like and share when you see it, and we'll talk real soon. I'm out.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head.